Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome to my channel, Greyhound DFS. This is a video about the game between the Washington Wizards and the Detroit Pistons. This is part of I think 5-game slate. I'm gonna go over a little bit about each team and yeah. So, tomorrow we got Washington versus Detroit. The spread is Detroit -6. The implied total is 231. The Washington Wizards average 117.5 points. The Detroit Pistons average 108.5 points. The Washington Wizards give up 121.5 points, and the Detroit Pistons give up 110. Washington shooting 47% from 2-point range. Detroit is shooting 47% from 2-point range also. Detroit has a slight edge in 3-point percentage, 38% to 37%. Washington has the free throw edge, 80% to 74%. Detroit they have the rebounding edge, 42 total rebounds per game to 41.5 total rebounds per game. Washington has the offensive rebounding edge. They are averaging 10 rebounds per game offensively, and then Detroit is averaging 9.5 offensive rebounds per game. Detroit has the edge in defensive rebounds per game. They're averaging 32.5, and Washington's averaging 31.5. Detroit also has the shot blocking edge. They average nearly 5 blocks per game, and Washington averages 4. Washington has the assist edge. They're averaging roughly 27.5 assists per game, and then Detroit is averaging nearly 25 assists per game. Washington has the edge in steals slightly by 0.3. Washington averages 7.5 steals, and Detroit averages 7.2 steals per game. Washington averages less turnovers per game at 14.1, and Detroit averages 16.2 turnovers per game. Detroit fouls less. Washington averages 22.1 personal fouls per game, and Detroit averages 18.9 personal fouls per game. But Washington Wizards, Mo Wagner is not playing, so there's like 5 fouls right there. Like, that dude fouls out. So I don't know if he fouls out every game, but he's in foul trouble damn near every game. Excuse my language. And Washington's efficiency is -4.2, and Detroit's efficiency is -2.3. This video is for people who like to bet on the games, so hopefully I can help you guys. Washington's leading scorer is Bradley Beal at 28.3 points per game. Detroit's is Andre Drummond at 18 points per game. The leading rebounder as of right now for the Washington Wizards is Gary Payton III at 11 rebounds per game. However, he's only played 1 game. The other leading rebounder is Thomas Bryant, who's not playing. So I went ahead and just used Gary Payton III because Thomas Bryant, I don't think he's playing for a couple more weeks. And then, of course, for the Detroit Pistons, Andre Drummond's averaging 16.1 rebounds per game. Bradley Beal's leading the Wizards in assists at 6.8, and Derrick Rose is leading the Detroit Pistons in assists at 6. Bradley Beal's averaging 1.1 steals per game, and Andre Drummond is averaging 2 steals per game. There's not really a block leader for the Wizards. I mean, if there was, I'm pretty sure it was Thomas Bryant, but he's not playing, so I didn't include it. For the Detroit Pistons, Andre Drummond's averaging nearly 2 blocks per game at 1.7. And this is Washington's performance against the spread the last 4 or 5 games. So Washington played the New York Knicks, who was ranked 30th at the time. The line was Washington +4. Washington won by 6, so the difference was +10. So they covered that spread. Then they played Philly, who was ranked 9. Washington was plus 12. And they lost by 17 with a difference of 4.5. So they did not cover that spread. Toronto was ranked 8th. And Washington was plus 6.5. And Washington lost by 4. And the difference was 2.5. So they covered that spread. Chicago was ranked 22. Washington was -1, and they lost by 1. So the difference was -2, and they did not cover. Their last game against their next opponent was Detroit, who was ranked 21st, and Washington was plus 2.5, and they won by 14. And the difference was plus 16.5. So this was super close. So tomorrow's spread is Detroit -6. Detroit was basically -2.5 last time they played. So how in the heck is Detroit minus more now? And I don't understand it when they got pounded out by 14. Like, come on. So I don't know. Detroit, they played. This is their performance against the spread. Philly was ranked 9. Detroit was plus 6.5. And they lost by 16. So the difference was 9.5, and they did not cover that spread. Chicago was ranked 22nd. Detroit was plus 2, and they lost by 12. Difference of -10. They didn't cover that spread. Boston was ranked 5th. Detroit was plus 9, lost by 21. So the difference was 12, -12, and Detroit did not cover that spread either. Toronto was ranked number 8, and Detroit was plus 2.5, and they lost by 13, and the difference was -16.5, and they did not cover that spread either. So as you can see, they're on like a losing streak against the spread. And then the last game against their next opponent was Washington, who was ranked 24 at the time. Detroit was -2.5 for that game, and they lost by 14. And the difference was 16.5. And once again, Detroit did not cover that spread. And as far as the weather in Detroit, it's going to be foggy with a high of 54 and a low of 49 and a 20% chance of rain. So that's just a little bit about tomorrow's Washington and Detroit game, and I hope this video helped some of you guys. And if you got any value out of this video, I ask that you please hit that like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified when I upload a video. And once again, I appreciate the likes and subscribe and all that, and good luck.